Hi, Ouriel. How are you?
Doing great.
Very happy to have you on the Coin Nation Summit. Of course, I'm following ZenGo and I love everything you guys are doing. And I think it's only the beginning of something much bigger that you're building. But before we dive into the product and everything, maybe you can give us a little bit of a background about yourself and what led you to establish ZenGo.
Of course. Thanks for inviting us. Glad to be here. So ZenGo, what is it? So my background is I've been an entrepreneur for a few decades already. As you can see, I have some white hair. I'm not that young. And originally French, but now I'm based in Tel Aviv for nearly 17 years. And I've been working in many countries, worked in very different industries, but always in tech, always in consumer internet, and also in investing in startups. So been on both sides of the coin. And now I fell into the rabbit hole 4 years ago and never left it since. I love crypto. I love everything about it. I think it's a revolutionary industry that's going to affect everything we do, not just in finance, but in our society. We start to see it with NFTs. I think every concept of trust is being redefined, and the concept of trust is being redefined. And that's why I like it so much, because it's fundamental to anything that we do in modern society. And so at the time, we decided to build a better crypto wallet, because we thought, and we still think this is the case today, that most products are way too complicated, and that the majority of people who are coming to crypto will come with only something that is radically simple to use, but also without compromising on the ethos of crypto, right? Because what we don't want is to bring people to crypto to make it super easy, but all they do basically is onboard them to a new bank, right? And for that, we don't need crypto. You just need a new bank. What we wanted is to have something where users are in control, their funds are on chain, but everything is radically simple to use, and they don't need to go through the insanity of the security setup and the complexity of usage and the complex user interface that they have to do. And so this was the starting point of ZenGo. And ZenGo today is a mobile crypto wallet. Let's call it crypto wallet 2.0, made for humans, made for modernity, where in a simple application, you can do most of the things that you need to do in crypto. You can get started very simply with a revolutionary and groundbreaking onboarding experience. You can send, you can receive, you can buy, you can sell, you can swap, you can earn, you can stake, and many more things soon in one remote control, in your control, so you can connect to the Web3 economy. So that's ZenGo. We've been launching it now for nearly 2 years. We have hundreds of thousands of customers around the world and growing. Wow. That's us.
Yeah, I have the advantage to say, and to be honest with our viewers right now, that I used ZenGo and I love it. I think it's super, super unique. And, you know, I'm basically a fintech guy, and I've been testing all kinds of UI, UX from other, you know, banks and fintechs around the world, also in crypto wallets. And I think two things about your product that I can say now. First, that, as you said, it's super, super simple. You're absolutely right. And people love the design. And I guess you're going to take it even forward, design, and you can even make it better, but already it's amazing. And the second thing that I'm seeing in your product is the whole login. As you said, when I log in, I don't need you know, to copy the key or to do different, you know, sophisticated stuff. It's with my face, right?
Not just, but you're right. And by the way, let's precise to the audience, I didn't pay you to say what you said. You said it spontaneously.
Yeah.
and that's why I appreciate it even more. And it's not just the biometrics. We've really reinvented the way we think, the combination of simplicity and security. And I'm happy to report that to this day, on hundreds of thousands of customers, we never had a single time an account taken over by an attacker, not one single time, which is like crazy. If you compare, like, I don't know if you saw the news the other day, Coinbase had 6,000 accounts taken over because of flow in 2FA, right, with SMS. What we've built is not just an elegant, simple, easy to use way to onboard people to crypto and in general to a service. What we have invented is the best way to prevent any user from his own mistakes, because everything is completely passwordless, not dependent on something you need to remember, on something you have to write, or make a choice that will turn up be a wrong choice that an attacker can exploit. All of that, you don't feel it, right? We made it completely go
didn't
away.
even know.
And
Exactly.
Exactly, but people won't realize, like you probably saw that there is every day people losing funds because they've been phished or their wallet was taken over, right? Whether this is a MetaMask wallet, a Trust wallet, a Coinbase wallet, like all those guys. The reason is very simple, is because there in those wallets, there is something to take away. There is a piece of code that when it's compromised, it's game over. And so what we've done with ZenGo is created an on-chain wallet native to the blockchain, where there is no piece of code that can be taken away and compromise your wallet. This is a revolution that is still not understood enough, but as people get more and more exposed to those attacks, they realize it. And the benefit of having a system like that is also incredibly delightful and simple to use. So we've made the combination of those in an incredibly smooth way, and that gives you this gateway to this remote control of services connected to a very simple and elegant and safe wallet.
Yeah, and I'm following your personal Twitter account. Maybe later we'll give your account, because I see you very active in the crypto Twitter storms and everything. And I want to ask you, I saw something about NFT that you launched for your members or something.
No, we haven't launched anything in NFT yet. This is a topic we're looking at extremely seriously. And this is why I'm spending so much time into it and being vocal about it. What we have done is we are, let's call that, in an actively learning process. And we don't know how to do it differently. To learn, you have to be active as part of a community. You need to be engaged with the actors. You need to talk about it. You need to write about it. You need to invest into it. This is how I got myself exposed to crypto in the early days. I didn't know a thing about that. And by doing all those things, I came up to what eventually became ZenGo. And so here we're doing the same process. We actively participating. And what we have done, for example, we have purchased a pudgy penguins as a mascot to the company, which is a very cute fat penguin that we've used now instead of our logo in our Twitter account. So it's a big commitment in terms of branding. Very few do that. And the goal of that, we have also written a very extensive guide for people to get started in NFT. So we call it a NFT for dummies, and in a positive way, so people can get started as we dummies started once, and covering all the key topics of crypto NFT. And this world is insane and is rich and dense and deep, and so we wanted to do that. And we are working into making an outstanding user experience for NFT into a mobile wallet, because what we have learned by going through this journey is that all the solutions on the market are insanely complex, are insanely painful, are insanely tedious. And unlike exchanges, where exchanges have solved the problem of complexity by forcing users to compromise on their control, but making it something super simple, right? You can have a Robinhood account, a Cash App account, a Coinbase account, and then you can buy very simply crypto. On NFT, you cannot do that. You need to be on chain. You need to control your funds. You need to connect the access to the Web3 gateways, and only wallets can do that. But the bad news is that current state of wallets in that space is extremely bad, is extremely painful, is extremely unsafe. And so we have identified that as an opportunity that we want to look into very seriously. So I don't think I have anything to announce yet, but you can guess that it's going to be a serious topic for ZenGo.
Yeah, and I love the part of you have to use it. You have to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. It's something I learned even here during the summit from Visa, that they didn't just buy the CryptoPunk. They want their own employees to open a wallet, to start experimenting and using, because you cannot talk about it and not doing it. And you're absolutely right. And you're also right about the complexity in the NFT space. We have many NFT marketplaces here and creators who are watching you. And I was asking this question just because I saw it on your Twitter feed, and because I thought maybe it's a hint for the future of ZenGo that might include something among this. If you make it simple, you make it simple in many cases.
Yeah, so I cannot tell you yet how we're thinking about making it simple, but I cannot tell you it's going to be a step function improvement to whatever exists in the space. So that's number one. And the other thing that I can tell you as a mini scoop that people cannot see from the outside is that it's just not like something that we are doing as part of a product plan. It's also something that we live inside the company. So for example, we have already employees, including myself, that have replaced their Slack pictures with their NFT as PFP, as profile picture page. And so we're not waiting for Twitter to allow us to verify. We're already doing that internally. We have a dedicated channels to talk about NFT internally. And so this is really something that we live from the inside organically. And I think we cannot, in general, you cannot build an outstanding product if you don't really need it for yourself and live it organically first. And so this is the phase we're going through. We are, as always, extremely patient in this industry. We don't like to be first, but we like to be right. And so we're going to take our time. We're going to build that, and it's going to come to ZenGo fully soon. But for now, we don't have much more to share.
No problem. We will talk about the things that you can share and the features, the recent features. I want to be as updated as I can with you on this interview. So maybe you can tell us of what's new about ZenGo. And I also want to ask about the markets that you're operating in, or tell me more about that.
Recently what we've launched is a new interface that makes it more convenient to have kind of this access to this remote control. So that we can call a wallet. We like to think about it as a remote control. And the way it materializes in the interface is that there is one button that allows you to do everything, or we call that actions, right? And so with one button, no matter where you are in the app, you have access to all these actions that allow you to do something in crypto. So right now it's send, receive, buy, sell, swap, and earn, and there will be more actions soon. And so simplifying means not just like simplifying the cosmetic of the interface, is simplifying the concepts and the interface of how it works. And so this is where we spend a lot of time always improving and iterating. So we've launched that. What we're launching very soon is a brand new trading engine in ZenGo that will make it way faster, way simpler to swap assets cross chains. Nice. Okay, not Ethereum to Ethereum, and not whatever Binance to Binance, but cross chains in ZenGo. So we have something already, but we are revamping the engine seriously. It's going also to be available globally. There are many countries where it's not available. So that's kind of coming very soon. And another update that's coming very soon is a completely revamped earn section, where today you can earn 4% on BTC passively, but we're going to completely revamp all this section, and there's going to be extremely attractive APY that are going to be there. So that's coming up next. Okay, so those are like the two next big upholds of this product roadmap.
Yeah, I think just my thoughts right now, that it seems like you're building some sort of operating system, like an OS, like the Zen OS, if I can call it, and you're going with that vision, where like you started, making things simpler and making things, maybe it will be outside of the app as well, on the web. And it really sounds interesting. And I want maybe to understand, what does it mean for you? I'm seeing your shirt. I'm reading your shirt right now. Crypto is now Zen. What does it mean for you, for the messaging that you want the customer who is right now listening or watching? What does it mean?
We want to make the complexity go away, so people become better investors and become exclusively focused on what matters the most, meaning spending their time building their wealth and being in control of it, right? Right now, people spend way too much time trying to understand the models, trying to understand the security, trying to understand, basically having a bad experience, instead of spending 100% of their time in doing what matters the most, meaning owning assets, investing in them, growing them, right? So that's really the thing that really matters. And so for us, crypto is now Zen, mean that people exclusively are freeing their mind of the worries, completely. So we help use technology to make that happen. And so we make it happen at the onboarding level, we make it happen at the security level, and we make it also happen at the user interface level. And finally, and not understated enough, is we make it happen at the customer experience level, meaning that when someone has a question, and someone will always have a question, even if you have a perfect product, we are always here for them. In matter of seconds, we will answer to you, no matter where you are in the world, no matter which day of the year. And we have massively invested in customer operation for that to happen. And so all those things, all these kind of nows and thing is declined everywhere in the product, and not just into the cute, nice interface that you see. What that means also is that there are many things that we don't do, okay? And many things that we will not do by design. We try to address a very, very clear, specific audience and use case for people who want a remote control for different blockchains, for different services in their pocket. And so we're not talking to the advanced users. We're not talking to absolute maximalists who want absolute control on everything for a mono-chain wallet. We're not talking to high-frequency traders. We're not talking to institutions. We exclusively focus on that use case. And we want people to experience blockchain truly, meaning connected to the crypto ecosystem and not siloed in custodians, in exchanges, in the Robinhoods of the world that will impose their rules and their control, even if they provide you sometimes a wallet. So that's really the goal, is to build the wallet for modernity, the wallet for humans that people will need on a day-to-day basis for the crypto economy.
Love it. I really understand the focus and what you are for and what you're not for. It's very, very important to say. And actually, a lot of the things that you're saying to me right now remind me on the interview that we're having with Mr. Wonderful from the Shark Tank. He told me on the interview that the most biggest issue in the crypto is the complexity, as you said, and that it's not accessible for everybody. And that's, you know, when he and his friends and so many try to go on crypto, it's a nightmare. And you said it is right now. And I'm happy to revisit your product. I like the mechanism of sending it to friends, of inviting friends. It's always simple, and also I think that you're giving a cashback or a reward program. Is that right?
Yeah. So if you invite a friend, we have a referral program where you invite a friend. You as an inviter, you get 50% of our commission for 1 year, which is a really big deal. And for the person you invite, they get $10 cash back in Bitcoin paid into their account after their first purchase, right? So they can unlock it like fairly quickly. You just need to buy a minimum of $150 if I remember, and then you get $10 cash back paid in Bitcoin. So we get that in place. And that's something that, you know, and we, by the way, planning to improve that. But that's what we have today.
Amazing. You know, how can people follow you personally, the product, sign in?
So first is very simple, ZenGo.com, ZenGo.com. All right. So no funky URL, simple.com. On Twitter, it's the same. It's @ZenGo. No funky just the name of the service and the company. On the App Store, you search ZenGo, you will find it. And that's the most important. And if you want to follow me, it's less important, but I'm also on Twitter at Ouriel Ohayon, my full name. You can follow me there. I'm also very active on BitClout.
I wanted to mention that. I didn't know if you want to have that on here on the interview, but certainly. What is BitClout for you, if we can talk a little bit about it?
Well, BitClout is two things. So you have BitClout, the service, and you have DESO, the protocol. The protocol is more interesting than the service. The DESO protocol is a way to build any social app in a decentralized way with a very smart incentive for the creators to participate into those social applications and the value captured in those applications. If you think about it today, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, they basically built a fantastic service where they capture 100% of the value. And so the idea here is to build a decentralized service which is owned by the creators, which is owned by users, where everyone has its own coin. And if you grow, well, you enjoy this growth too, and not just the service or the protocol. And buildcloud.com, which is one of the apps that is built on the DESO protocol, is basically a decentralized version of Twitter, which, by the way, Twitter also wants to build with Skyblue, where every user not just has an account, it also has his own coin, and everyone can trade, and every action actually cost or can be rewarded with a coin. You have the most elegant way to tip someone that is crazy fast, instant, beautiful, no need for another wallet or for complex lightning network stuff to happen. And you have also a crazy, amazing, simple NFT experience to mint very fast, very cheap, without wallet, any form of art or content with unlocked or unlockable content. So this is all of this wrap, and it looks very much like Twitter with a feed and users, and it's a very active and beautiful community that I personally like a lot. I know there's a lot of critics about it on Twitter, but there's always a lot of critics about things that are new on Twitter. Personally, I'm very bullish about it, and I think it's going to be very big. And it's not a financial advice. I never give financial advice, but personally, it's a place where I spend a lot of my time personally.
Yes, I agree. Very interesting platform. Last thing I wanted to ask you, maybe you can spare like 2-3 minutes with me about the investments in ZenGo. Can you?
You mean who has invested in ZenGo? Yeah, so we've raised two rounds in ZenGo. Seed round that was 3 years ago with Benson Oak, Samsung, and Elron, and a bunch of other investors, Collider and other great guys. And recently we raised the Series A, including led by Insight Partners, which is one of the great private equity funds in the US, with the participation of Distributed Global, a well-known crypto fund, and also Austin Reef, the CEO of Morning Brew. And so now we've raised enough resources to do whatever we need to get to the next phase. And we're very happy with these new partners. They think like us, they like the concept, they like the technology, they like the story, they like the direction we're going. And that was pretty recent. That was 3-4 months ago. So we haven't touched yet the money that we've raised. So we still have a lot of weapons to do cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, very, very interesting company and concept. And I also saw that you launched a podcast or something, like I saw on LinkedIn. Is that right?
You are well informed, but there is a twist. We haven't launched a podcast to become the #1 finance podcast. It's not the goal. We've launched this podcast for our customers so that we find a way to educate them on the basics of crypto very simply. So the concept of this podcast is pretty unique. It's a 10-minute episode, very short podcast, lightweight. It's available in all the platforms. It's called the Zen Crypto Show. If you search ZenGo, you will find it too. And each episode is one concept explained extremely simply, no tech words, no jargon. Anyone can understand it, from a child to a grandmother. And so the goal with this podcast was to put it in our app so our customers and even our new employees or our new vendors or new partners can learn crypto much faster, right? So that's the goal. And we've launched already 6 episodes. Every week we launch a new episode, and there is a new one coming this week, which will be about scams, crypto scams, which is a big topic that people have to know about.
It's in the app already?
So it's not in the app right now. We've wanted first to launch the podcast. We're launching the podcast in the app in the coming version, but it's already on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, and everywhere. And the feedback so far is great.
Amazing. I will definitely check it out. Thank you very, very much. Again, amazing conversation, and see if you can stay around, or your team can stay around. I'm sure people have questions or want to connect for partnerships. That's the whole purpose of the summit, to connect, to do business, collaborations, partnerships in all the sectors of crypto, NFT, DeFi, and blockchain. So we'll definitely put your links over here. And again, thank you very, very much. Great product.
Thank you very much. And last message before we are hiring anywhere you are, even remote. So contact us. We have a great team, and it's growing.
I love it. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.